So you want to be motivated more often. Let me break something down to you that I read in what's actually in this book. I actually have the book on hand. Infinite Game by Simon Sinek. I do not have an affiliate link. The idea in this book is about having a long-term view on what you want to achieve, a vision. Now everyone will talk to you about you need to be successful. If you want to be successful, you need to set goals. Goals are good. I don't disagree with goals. But I think something that's better that you need alongside your goals is a vision. The one thing, you have one vision. Like a company has a mission statement. I've actually got Apple's right here. To bring the best personal computing products and support to students, educators, designers, scientists, engineers, business persons and consumers in over 140 countries around the world. Pardon me. There's no, apart from 140 countries, is to provide the best products to all these people. Think about this in a way, like it's never actually going to be achieved. Who's going to be there apart from, you get like these, I don't even know what you call them, people who like make ratings websites and stuff and be like, oh, best product, but somebody else is going to think it's the best, their product's the best product. One person, a lot of people have iPhones, but some people think Androids are better. And I don't really know what's better, I don't really care. I just use iPhones because it's the most convenient for me. And I know how to use them, and I've been using Apple products for years. But that's an example of, they want to make the best products for people to use. They want to give the users the best experience. Now that's a vision. A goal would be to be the market leader. Now, you're not, like eventually that's going to run out. Eventually that's not motivating anymore. Because it's like, you're the market leader, somebody else comes along, completely dominates the market, then you're out the water. What have you got to motivate you? Something that's, it's finite because it doesn't go further than once you've achieved it. With a vision, there's constantly something to go for. And people will say, oh, it's toxic because you'll never achieve it and you'll be upset when you can't achieve it. But who's ever had like a vision of how they want the world? Think right now, sit down, think. You have a vision of how you want your life to pan out. Maybe you've not thought about it before, I suggest you do. Think about what kind of, like I spoke a couple of videos ago, what kind of man do you want to be? What vision do you have as the man you want to be? It's not the guy, you're not going to, like goals are something that you want to achieve. Vision is how you want to be, how you want things to be. It's my vision up on my wall there. I'll read it up now. This is my vision. I want Scottish rugby fans to feel that indescribable inspiration that I feel when I watch other teams. Like great sporting moments. This isn't an exact quote because I keep turning to face the camera because I don't know if you can still hear me. Actually, I'll just read it out. Okay. Now, that's a very elaborate vision to have. A goal would be to win the World Cup. A goal would be to win the Six Nations, which of course I want to do, and I still have those goals. I've got them written up on a piece of paper right next to it. But the vision is what gets you out of bed in the morning. That's what wakes me up. I want to deliver inspiration to people because I know how much that's done for me in my life. Even though it was rugby inspired, or just great sporting moments in general, inspiring me to create more great sporting moments. Because the energy you get when you feel so inspired, that's what motivates me to do things. To be inspired. Imagine being able to inspire all the people, Scottish rugby fans who for year after years will be, oh, they're shite. Imagine being able to use Scotland rugby team as a way of inspiring people in Scotland. For people in Scotland to be proud of a product that they've produced. Fucking, how many things have been invented in Scotland? You can't even fucking, light bulb telephone, I can't even, one of those ones, light bulb or telephone was created in Scotland. And there's so many things. I remember one episode of the Grand Tour where they came in Scotland. I think it might have been season 1 or something, when they drive the Penis 287 or something where they're piloting extremely nicely in Scotland, 287 as a kind of run off of the NC 500. It's just banter. But you know what I mean, like, create that inspiration. That's my vision. There's never going to be one moment where I sit down and like, shit, I create inspiration. It's just something I constantly want to keep creating. It's something that never ends because it's so fulfilling. You should aim for one sort of specific vision. And you'll find that if you have multiple different visions, like I have a vision of the kind of man I want to be and going into nature and feeling just part of the land and all this sort of shit. And then I've got my vision of how I want to inspire with the rugby. I've got my vision of how I want to help men in self-improvement, young men. Probably going to be in Scotland because most of the people who watch my videos, I assume, are in Scotland. My analytics aren't detailed enough to show me where specifically people are because I don't have that many views at the moment. But all these visions kind of tie in together. The type of man I want to be is the type of man that achieves the type of shit I want to achieve in rugby. It's the type of man to teach the lessons I want to teach in self-improvement. And it all ties in together. That's why visualization is such an important thing, and it's something that I've done loads as a kid unintentionally. It's just imagining, like, what if I can do that? And even more now, whenever I see someone do something that I find inspiring, I'm like, shit, I could do that. Especially if it's rugby. I just watched the Prep to Win documentary about Harlequins rugby team in the English Premiership, and like they just won. The first part, they're like covering how they won the Premiership season in 2021 without anyone really expecting them to. I'm thinking, shit, I could do that with like Edinburgh, Glasgow, or whatnot, whoever signs me. But like, or just whatever professional team I end up playing for, I can be the part of that team. I can help lead the team. I can be part of the team that can create inspiration to those fans, which can then take into the international stage, take into the Lions stage. Listen, all I need to do is work. Once I've got the vision of what I want to achieve, I slowly filter back. So what kind of person achieves that? What kind of things do they do in their life that would achieve such extravagant goals? And then you start studying people who have done some similar things. You watch documentaries, you read books, autobiographies, you just find interviews, all these things that you can find about successful people and how they act, how they move, how they think, how they talk, how they walk. I studied loads of that shit. Like, I didn't sit there with a notebook and pen. I just watched. And from consuming so much of the stuff about how successful people act, you pull out themes. They work extremely hard, harder than everyone else. They're more resilient than everyone else. They don't give up. They're humble. They can take advice and work on themselves and produce a better product. You begin to see how I'm seeing how having a vision can kind of create this motivation. It all filters down from your vision. You have a vision of how you want to be, and then you start coming back down. It's okay, so how do people who are like that act? And you start acting like that. And listen, it's not fucking easy. It's not easy to just change up habits just like that. Like, one thing I've been trying to change now is NoFap. If you've not heard of it, it's basically watching no porn and not masturbating. I'm trying to completely cut that out of my life. But listen, it's not an easy thing to do. Cutting out porn was fine because I'm fulfilled in most areas of my life, and I'm not sexually active at the moment, but I feel like with porn it's one of those things where it's just like I'm just doing it out of entertainment because I'm bored. But it's like it's basically I just need to scratch a pleasure itch. So I would in the past where I'd watch porn, now I just kind of sit for like 10 minutes on social media and I'm fine. Or I'll just sit doing nothing, or I'll have a snack. or something like that. Like, I don't need, that part's easy to get rid of, but for me the masturbating part is the difficult part, where it's like, I'm still working on it at the moment. As at first it would be like every week I'm like relapsing back into it, then it'd be every 2 weeks, and then it'd come back to a week, and then I'd be going every 2-3 days, and then I'd do it another week. But now I'm starting to actually kind of get the whole gist of the idea. The reason I'm doing this is because in my vision of the ultimate man I want to be, I'm not the kind of guy to sit and masturbate on a Friday night on his own. That's not the kind of man I want to be. I want to be the kind of man who's working on his goals, or he's spending time with women instead of masturbating. So it's something that I want to take seriously. And see how that filters back and down, and the motivation for me to stop doing that is every time I think about the kind of man I want to be. I don't know if I've still got it written up here. Yeah, I do. Listen, I'll show you this one too. Do what my future self would do. That's ultimate accountability. I'm just doing, you do it for yourself. What do you want to do? I want to be the kind of guy who doesn't masturbate, so I'm going to think about how to stop doing this and figure it out, and then eventually I know what's going to happen. And it's the same with any vision. I just want you to sit there with like a piece of paper, A4 piece of paper, or a journal, whatever you want to do, and write, even if it's just like on your laptop, a Word document, just kind of type out your vision of how your life want to be. Think about, you're sitting reclined. That's kind of the practice I had, is like being that old wise man sitting looking over nature, and you're looking back over your life, reflecting. What do you want to be thinking about? What kind of person do you want to be when you're doing that? And listen, I know the feeling, because I've been to like remote parts of Scotland and just sat there and looked over the mountains and reflected on the last few years. It's powerful. It is seriously powerful. And like I explained, I can't remember, because I've recorded like 3 videos in a row. I can't remember if it was the last video or in this video that I spoke about, when you've experienced a certain feeling of joy or of that like nostalgia you get from reflecting on the past few years, when you achieve something bigger and better, don't expect that feeling to grow, because I feel like that just leads to like disappointment. Because I've had that times where, I'll use a bothy trip example. I went on one bothy trip, came back, and it instantly expected the next bothy trip to feel just as good, to feel even better, because we're going somewhere even more remote. That expectation of me feeling amazing ruined it. I felt like I just couldn't be present. It was boring. And then it wasn't until a few years later I went to another bothy trip, my most recent one, back in January, and I felt it again. It was a tough trip, a really shit walk in, really tough walk out, and that I got that feeling again of, I'm so glad to be alive. That sort of feeling. And it wasn't any better than the first time. It's just because I wasn't expecting such a massive feeling. And that's what made it feel so good. I hope that made sense. It makes sense to me. But maybe I need to be a bit more articulate. Another thing that I want to become more articulate. Which means I'll need to expand my vocabulary and practice my speaking, like I'm speaking to the camera just now. But I've rambled on for long enough. And you get the point. You get the point. Don't set just goals. Set a vision. A vision. Yeah, I need to work on my articulation of words. Have a vision. Figure out what kind of person you want to be, or what kind of thing you want to inspire, or what kind of impact you want to have. And think about the type of person that's what that type of person who achieves that. Think about their habits, and slowly build in these habits through your day. Read the book Atomic Habits, or a summary of, or watch a YouTube video summary or something. It helps explain how to build good habits and break bad habits. Very useful, I found. Although I kind of instinctually knew a lot of the stuff that was said in the book, I do think it's a very good way of laying it out in one place. and it was nice to have it actually explained scientifically in some areas, so very worth a read. You have that, you have somewhere to go in life, you have fulfillment, and it's very hard, I've found, especially people that I've spoken to who have a vision of what they want to be like, they tend to not struggle for motivation. Because when I'm talking about motivation, I'm not meaning like feeling that full like, yeah, I want to fucking get this done right now. I'm talking about just like, you just do it. Like you might not feel good, you might feel like shit, but you still got to do it, because you know, for me, I know future Tristan's gonna be like, thanks Tristan, you're a guy, you're a G. So that's the kind of lesson for the video. I hope that made sense, because this is like the first time in maybe 2-3 weeks where I've actually sat down and recorded the video, because I kind of done a massive chunk of videos and then uploaded and like scheduled them for like a month or something. So I've not actually sat down and recorded the video for a while. So I hope that made sense. I think I might just start trying to record videos more often to try and get that articulation, practice that in front of the camera. But if you stuck with me this far, you obviously like self-improvement stuff, so drop a subscription on the channel, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.